Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever said something to your child and later thought, wow, I sounded just like my parents? Or maybe even worse, you promised yourself you'd never parent the way you were raised, but somehow you did. Actually, most parents don't wake up wanting to hurt their kids emotionally, but sometimes, without realizing it, certain habits slip in, and those habits, they don't just affect behavior. They shape a child's entire mental health, self-worth, and emotional safety. Today, we're going to talk about 5 common parenting habits that can quietly impact your child's mental health, and more importantly, how to start changing them in a healthy, realistic way. No judgment here, just awareness and growth. Let's get into it. 1. Passing childhood trauma. Let's start with this one. This doesn't always look dramatic. It can be subtle, like overreacting to small mistakes, shutting down emotionally, or being overly controlling because that's how I survived growing up. But here's the problem. When unresolved trauma gets passed down, children don't just inherit rules, they inherit emotional patterns. A child raised in a tense, reactive environment may grow up constantly anxious, always trying to not mess up, just to keep peace. Children in this situation often struggle with anxiety, hypervigilance, or emotional suppression. They learn to adapt, not to thrive. And the hardest part, parents usually don't even realize they're doing it. 2. Comparing to other kids. Now let's talk about something many people grew up hearing. Why can't you be more like your cousin? Look at your friend. Why can't you do that? Comparisons. On the surface, it might sound motivating, but emotionally, it often lands as rejection, and that message sticks. Over time, kids who are constantly compared may develop low self-esteem, resentment, or even perfectionism, where they feel like nothing they do is ever good enough. And for children, it doesn't just steal joy, it can steal identity. Instead of asking, who am I? They start asking, why am I not like them? 3. Name-calling your child. This one hits harder than most people realize. Calling a child lazy, stupid, dramatic, or bad might feel like a moment of frustration, but children don't process it like an adult. They just think what you are saying is true. Their brain is still forming identity, so when a parent labels them, they often internalize it. And over time, those words become beliefs. A child called lazy too often may stop trying. A child called too sensitive may stop expressing emotions. A child called dumb may stop believing in their own intelligence. Words matter, especially in childhood, because children don't just hear what you say, they absorb it into who they think they are. 4. Guilt-tripping your child. Now, this one is very common, especially in well-meaning families. I sacrificed everything for you. After all I've done, this is how you act. You're hurting me by doing that. Guilt-tripping is emotional pressure disguised as care, and while it might create short-term compliance, long-term it creates emotional confusion. Children in these environments often grow up feeling responsible for other people's emotions. They become people pleasers, afraid of saying no, or constantly anxious about disappointing others. Instead of learning boundaries, children learn emotional responsibility for their parents' happiness. And that's a heavy burden for a developing mind. Last one, and this is a big one. 5. Invalidating your child's feelings. You're overreacting. It's not a big deal. Stop crying. When a child's emotions are ignored, they don't just stop feeling them, they start doubting them. They think that their emotions are wrong or inconvenient. Over time, this can lead to emotional suppression, difficulty expressing needs, or even struggles with mental health like anxiety or depression. And later in life, these children may struggle to understand their own emotional world. Now here's the important part. What do we actually do about this? Because awareness without action doesn't change anything. Here are some of the practical ways to break these patterns. Pause before reacting. Before responding to your child, especially in moments of frustration, take a breath. Ask yourself, am I reacting to my child or to my past? Even a 3-second pause can shift your response from emotional to intentional. Replace labels with descriptions. Instead of saying, "You're lazy," try, "I notice you're having a hard time doing your task. Let's figure it out together." This shifts identity-based criticism into problem-solving support. Validate before guiding. Before correcting behavior, acknowledge emotion first. Instead of, "Stop crying, it's nothing," try, "I see you're really upset. That must feel hard. Let's talk about it." Validation doesn't mean agreement, it means recognition. And children who feel understood are far more open to guidance. Here's the truth. No parent is perfect, and this video is not about blaming you as a parent. It's about awareness. Because small changes in how we speak, react, and listen can completely shift a child's emotional development. So the question is, what impressions are we consistently leaving behind? If this video made you reflect even a little, that's already a step toward better parenting. And remember, better parenting doesn't start with perfection. It starts with awareness.